Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another weekly episode of Worldwide Everything, the weekly talk show that talks about absolutely everything that's going on worldwide.
That's right, at Worldwide Everything, we search the web so that you don't have to. Stay tuned for our top 5 countdown of everything pop culture that's happened this week. Before we get started, I wanted to introduce you to my lovely co-hosts. I have Anya Hurricane over here. She is the girl that lives for all things live stream. And we have Maura Murphy, who is going to be our pop culture pundit. And I'm Molly Doherty, and I am the timeline translator. So up first on this week's countdown, we have some exciting news, new couple alert here in New York City. We saw Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum walking the streets of New York hand in hand. Anybody else as excited about this as I am? I did not see it coming.
So yeah, I guess it all started when Zoe asked Channing to be in her first directional debut.
Debut film? What's it called?
She has a little bit of a racy name.
Sorry to interrupt you guys, but unfortunately we've been told by our producers and our directors that we cannot discuss the name of the film. If anyone wants to look it up, just look up Bus Island and see what comes up.
But I think I get what you're saying. Okay, all right.
The name might not be too appealing to me, but it had to have been for Channing, because that's when all the romance started to go around.
Right.
And then fast forward, that was in June. Then fast forward to the Met Gala. They didn't walk the red carpet together, but they were seen at the after party being a little bit touchy. And then fast forward to last Saturday, where they were seen in New York City holding hands in public.
So that kind of makes it official, like walking around New York City hand in hand. You're kind of making a big statement there.
I would say so, definitely.
And what's going to happen with the kid? He has an 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's a huge age gap between them. There's 9 years, so I'm sure the daughter is a little bit confused, but it's also fresh. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens if they're the new hottest couple of 2022.
For the daughter's sake, I hope it does last.
I know.
I can't wait to see what happens next for those two. Up next, more exciting New York news. Right here on Fordham's campus, we saw Courtney Cox walking around with her daughter, taking her on a tour.
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to be on campus at the time. I just saw a tweet, Courtney Cox was on campus. Unfortunately, I did not see her, but rumor does have it that the daughter got really upset because everyone was going over to her, wanting to get photos, and of course the daughter just wanted to tour the campus, but she obviously couldn't.
Yeah, I can't imagine just living that life. You can't even tour a campus without having a mob come after you.
But she's like 20 years old, like she has to be used to it by now.
Fair enough.
Especially with somebody as famous as your mom. I mean, you know.
Friends star. Speaking of Friends, did you hear James Michael Taylor passed away? He played Gunther on Friends.
Yeah. How did he die again?
Pancreatic cancer, and he's only 59 years old.
Wow.
And he also couldn't go to the Friends reunion because of it as well, which obviously like the whole world tuned in for that as well.
That is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Especially for the whole cast,
They've all put up statements wishing him the best, and obviously has 3 daughters as well, so they want to wish them the best as well.
Tragic news, truly. And other important news, Ed Sheeran is no longer able to perform as planned on SNL this weekend because he has contracted COVID. This comes ahead of his new album, which is set to be released on October 29th.
Yeah. So what's his team going on there? He's sticking to what? He's done Multiplied, Divide, now he's doing Equals. And poor SNL, they create the whole show in an entire week. And 3 days before the show, he cancelled because of COVID?
I mean, if SNL asked me to fill in last minute, I would jump at the opportunity.
I'm a bit devastated though, because I did want to get tickets for it, so I don't feel that bad missing out and not getting tickets for it now.
At least we can look forward to the album coming out on Friday.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not too sick from COVID.
I agree. Some of the songs, I really like all the singles going out right now, so I'm excited for the whole album.
Bad Habits? Stuck in my head.
2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
Alright, and everybody's been talking about number 2 on the list, Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian finally putting a ring on it. I, for one, was really shocked because I've seen months of conspiracy theories and speculation about if they're married, if they're not married. So I saw this very public engagement. I wanted to know what you guys thought about all of it.
Personally, I think she's kind of doing it to get back at Scott because they were together for 10 years and never got married. But then again, it could be meant to be. Like, they were only dating 9 months.
I mean, I heard that he got her lips tattooed on his arm, and personally, I would not do that if I didn't love the person.
What do you think? Would you get tattoos from your significant other?
Not a chance, unless I knew it was gonna last.
Yeah, no, not me, not for me. And then last up, number one, our most important piece of news that we got to get out there into the world. I want to hear your take on all of the Alec Baldwin news coming out about the accident that occurred on the film set of Rust, the Western adventure film.
So,
Can you give us a
for those of you who don't know, Alec Baldwin was on set of the movie Rust. He had a gun in his hand, thought it was empty, or as was known as a cold gun. Accidentally shot the cinematographer, who sadly passed away, and the director is injured as well.
What a heartbreaking story. And it's like, who gets in trouble? Baldwin, it wasn't his fault, you know? So
he
is it
didn't
the
know it was
props
going to be
director?
loaded. How was he supposed to know it was loaded?
Yeah, if the person in charge of the film, which I didn't know, in charge of the props, her name is Hannah Gutierrez Reed. Did you know there was such a
Big person, like
Such
apparently
a-
she's being known as like most famous individual artist.
I know, and her job is known as the head armorer. Did you know that was even a position
No.
that movies had?
Not at all, but it's a question of who gets blamed. The
Well-
prop, Alec, who gets blamed?
Well, part of her story is that she's very new to this position. She's 24 years old, and her dad is someone who also was involved in this side of filmmaking. So I think she had some big shoes to fill, and I don't know that she's doing the best job.
You know, you'd think if you had a job with that specific of a name, you wouldn't have a big oopsie like this that
No.
caused a life.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that there are scholarships that are being established in the name of the cinematographer Helena Hutchins, who was killed. So her name will live on, and she's going to help young female filmmakers get established in the film world. So not all is lost in this horrific accident.
At least there's some light that comes from it.
Just can't imagine, like, there's a son. She has a son, so what's going to happen to the son? I don't know. It's very heartbreaking, very, very heartbreaking. And poor Alec Baldwin, he did not know it was going to happen.
Well, that's all the time that we have today. Check out our website, and there'll be a poll there saying if you think that Travis and Courtney are really getting married or if it's just a PR stunt. Until next time, I'm Maura,
I'm Molly.
I'm Anya.
and you're watching Worldwide Everything.